Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome to my July front garden tour. On my channel, I do a front garden tour and a back garden tour every single month just to show the progress in the garden, what I've done for the past month, and what the garden is looking like this time of year. I love my garden in June and July because everything is going crazy. Everything is blooming, everything is growing, and things are just looking gorgeous. So this is the time that I really see the benefits of all my hard work earlier on in the year, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. So I want to start off this morning in the center island. The center island has been hands down the biggest change in my garden this year. I am so happy that we finally decided to address this center island. We have lived here for 2 years. We're just coming up on our 2-year anniversary. And the first year I started off focusing on the orchard garden, which is over there on that side. And then I waited to touch the center island. Last year, I actually used the center island as a cut flower garden, which I really enjoyed. But it's so nice that this year we finally got it landscaped and we finally were able to start working on it. So the biggest change in the center island is our dry creek bed that you can see right there. I'll eventually go over here so you can see a better view of it. But we have a dry creek bed running down the middle of it diagonally, going towards our wood gazebo that we absolutely love. We sit on the rocking chairs, we have our coffee, we relax, we enjoy the garden. I love it. Now, we do have a painter coming to stain the gazebo. Actually, later this week, I am just doing a natural cedar color stain. So it's going to look pretty similar to what it looks like now, but it definitely needs to be sealed and the wood needs to be taken care of so it can last for a really long time. And as soon as the painter's done with staining and sealing the gazebo, I'm planning to get a rug and get some nice comfy chairs. I definitely want to do more rocking chairs, but even more patio furniture right there that I just think will be fabulous. And I think about, I can't wait because I'm thinking about the holidays. I know, what am I doing thinking about the holidays in July? But can you imagine a couple Christmas trees all lit up in there for the holiday season? Won't that be absolutely the best place to put Christmas trees for holiday decor. So anyway, I'm really excited about the gazebo. It is just such a wonderful addition to the garden. And right in front of the gazebo, it's not done yet, but we are planning to put 3 boulder fountains there because this is a dry creek bed, so it's not meant to have any water in it. It's right over our septic leach field, which is right over here. And so we couldn't put anything like big water feature or anything like that, but we are going to do 3 fountains so it will kind of give it the look like there's water in here, but not really. But we're not really quite there yet. We're not really focused on that yet, but that is what's coming in this area. So this area right here is a little bit undone. On either side of the gazebo, I have my rising sun redbuds that I am absolutely obsessed with. They are so beautiful. It's a newer variety of redbud, and the new foliage comes out, and it's almost like it's a sunrise. Look at how beautiful that is. So it's green to chartreuse to yellow to almost like this orangey color. They are the most beautiful trees, and I'm enjoying them so much. They're going to get about 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide. I have this one right here, and then I have that one over there that's a little bit smaller, but it is coming, and it is just, I just love it so much. And then right off to the right, I have to show off my agapanthus. I just recently planted this agapanthus last month, and it's called Storm Cloud agapanthus. And now agapanthus, where I live in Northern California, we kind of think of it as kind of a throwaway plant. We think of it as kind of like a parking lot plant, which I always say it's really mean that I say that. But if you go to a grocery store parking lot or like a big box store parking lot and you look at the landscaping, that's whatever's planted in the landscape is what I consider a parking lot plant, which basically is the plant is so well adapted to your climate. It can handle living in a parking lot with neglect and people walking through it all the time and the heat of the concrete feet of the parking lot. Those are what parking lot plants are. And some of them I will just, you know, kind of ignore and not really like, but eventually I'm coming around them. Iceberg roses, I consider a parking lot plant. Daylilies are a parking lot plant. Lantana is a parking lot plant for us, and agapanthus is a parking lot plant. And this agapanthus is called storm cloud agapanthus, and I am obsessed with it. It is about 5 feet tall, and it's this deep purple blue color, and it is just so incredibly beautiful. It's so pretty. So I planted that, and then I interspersed some sun-credible sunflowers around it, which are, oh my gosh, look at the little bug. Is that a spider? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, sun-credible sunflowers all around it, and then I do have this rock steady vitex. Now all of these were just planted this year, so all of these are going to get a lot bigger. This rock steady vitex, the stats for it are it's going to grow anywhere from 4 to 12 feet tall. So yeah, that's a big range. I don't know how tall this vitex is going to get, but looking at the other vitex that I've seen in other gardens, I think it's going to definitely get at least 6 or 7 feet tall. So that will be really pretty, especially with the gorgeous blooms that almost look like buddleia blooms, but it's just so interesting. It's so beautiful. Now coming around to the other side of that area, I have to show off. I've been showing off my El Nino Catalpa every garden tour because it is just the most beautiful plant. This plant is a cross between a desert willow and a catalpa. It is so incredibly amazing. I'll show you 2 more that I planted just a couple months ago, and they grow so fast. They are such fantastic plants. The only drawback that I don't love about this plant is that it is deciduous, but it does leaf out pretty early in the season. I love the pink color. It smells amazing, according to what people say. I always say I can't smell this, but I just think it's just beautiful. Some people will say they look like snapdragons. Some people will say they look like orchids. I don't know. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the best plants that I think Proven Winners has come out with in a really long time. So let me come this way. This is a little, we have decomposed granite. Well, it's kind of like, what do they call it? 1/4 inch decomposed granite pathway, and then it's lined with edge-right metal edging on either side of the pathway. Really beautiful. I am so happy with this look. I think it's gorgeous. And then on either side of the pathway, I have Tuscarora crepe myrtles that are just, I just love them. At my last house, we moved into this house 2 years ago, and at my last house, I had a really big Tuscarora crepe myrtle growing in the front, and I missed it so much. And so we planted these crepe myrtles last fall, and I'm so happy to see the blooms coming out. It's just wonderful. Now these are babies. They're going to get really big, but already they are, they are a standout in my garden. I love it. In the front here, I have Supertunia Bordeaux just kind of bordering either side of the pathway. And then coming up, you can see this mass of yellow. This has been absolutely crazy to me. This is Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow, which is actually the annual of the year for Proven Winners this year. And I can see why. I mean, it just is just nonstop. And it actually has taken over my kindly privet right here. So I got to come in and I got to kind of move that back so that it doesn't smother that privet. But it's just been such an impressive plant. So if you like yellow, Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow is a good one for you. Behind that, I have Augusta Lavender Heliotrope, another Proven Winners plant. This one I have planted in pots, and I have planted it in the landscape, and it is 1,000% better in the landscape. Trust me, it needs the room, the space to kind of spread out a little bit. So this is definitely a landscape plant. And then right in front of that, I have one of my favorite Superbenas, and this is Superbena Raspberry. I do have a little gem magnolia, and you can see that it does have some buds on it. So I've been getting a couple blooms. Again, this was planted in the fall. This is Jason's favorite tree. And it's still a baby, but it's just still so much fun to see that I still have buds on it. And then coming over here, I have my serpentine weeping cedar that is just looking beautiful. And I just crack up when I think about it, because when we first planted this tree, it was like the focal point of the center island. Like, your eye was automatically drawn to that, and that's what you were focusing on. And now that other things are planted, like the Tuscarora crepe myrtles, I'm sorry, my eye is drawn to the crepe myrtles and to the gazebo and to the rising sun redbuds. And I feel really bad because I'm not paying as much attention to this beautiful tree. But this one is evergreen, and so in the wintertime, this is going to be some really beautiful winter interest. I put a couple rocks in front of it, and then I have my Chinese fringe flower right here that I think I showed you guys in another video. I was a little worried about it because it wasn't looking very good, but it is come back. It is bulking out. The leaves, the foliage looks really good. And then in January, February, it has the most beautiful, beautiful blooms. They look like fuchsia witch hazel blooms. They're really, really gorgeous. So to see this plant doing so well for me right now in July, I'm really, really happy about. And then you can see more of the Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. It's taking over. It is absolutely taking over. And I don't remember how many plants I planted, but this is supposed to be a mini vista. And mini vistas are a variety of Supertunias that are supposed to be a little bit more compact and a little bit more controlled. Just look at the yellow. It is not compact. It is not controlled. It's absolutely crazy. It's even smothering my orange blaze nyphophia right here. I have more heliotrope right there. And then I also have some denim and lace Russian sage. It's taking over. I love it. I love that it's taking over, but it's just cracking me up how much it's taking over. Okay, and then coming over to the front of the center island, I wanted to point out another one of my El Nino Chitalpas. This was one of them that I just planted. It was probably 12 inches tall, and now it's maybe 2.5 feet tall. So they grow very quickly, and I think I only planted it maybe 6 weeks ago, and it's already blooming. So when you see these at the garden center and they look kind of small, just know they're going to turn into something very big very quickly, and that one's not even full size yet. I think they get 10 feet tall and wide, maybe up to 12 feet tall and wide. So just really, really cool plant. Then coming over here, I want to show off this garden bed. This garden bed I'm really excited about because this garden bed was planted with the Proven Winners Gardener's Idea book in mind. And they're actually coming in about a week or two to take some photos. So the Gardener's Idea book is a publication that Proven Winners does every single year where they show off different plantings and combinations to give people ideas. You can sign up for the Gardener's Idea book and they'll send it to you for free. It's a really fun thing to get because you get it really early spring and it just kind of gets you excited for the season. And so hopefully this will be nice enough when they see it and take pictures, and the pictures will come out well. But the idea of this was to show off planting around rocks. And so my dry creek bed, of course, is a staple in drier gardens because a dry creek bed gives a nice look of interest, something other than just plants. But then it also acts as a swale, which basically whenever there is rain or whenever there is moisture, all the water will drain into the dry creek bed and then it will slowly percolate down into the soil. So therefore it's really drought, I don't want to say drought tolerant. It's good for drought stricken areas because it saves every ounce of water rather than letting it run off your property. So anyway, the idea of this garden bed was to plant around the rocks, and you can see I have whirlwind blue scaevola, I have lemon coral sedum, I have ladybird sunglow calliophis, I have some lantana, some grasses in the back. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. We'll see what Proven Winners says, and I'll keep you all updated on whether it's going to be in the book or not. I might not even know until it comes out, but it's just so fun to have the opportunity to plant for it, and we'll see how it goes. Over here on the left side of the dry creek bed, this is my California no-mow native grass meadow that I've been growing. And you can see what it's going to look like. This area is what it's going to look like. These were plants that I actually bought from Annie's Annuals and have been growing them just to see how I like them, and I love them. I think they're so, so pretty. We wanted something over here that was kind of a rest for the eye, and we had to think about, since it's it's right over the leach field, we couldn't have anything with too many roots in it. So having a California no-mow lawn I thought was the perfect option, because I am on well here out in the country and I don't have a ton of extra water, so we have to be really careful with our water usage. So this grass here is a really great alternative to a normal lawn that needs watering absolutely every single day. This grass, you can actually let it brown out and it'll still stay alive. You can mow it down if you want, even though I'm not going to, because I really like this nice meadowy look. And it's just the perfect option, I think. So what I did over here is I seeded it. I bought a whole bunch of seed and I seeded it, and we've been watering it. We've actually been watering it 3 times a day lately, and I actually bought more seed so I can overseed the patchy areas, and I'm just really excited to see it start coming. So just imagine this whole area right here is going to match that area right there, and it's going to be beautiful. And then I was thinking about getting a couple big pots all along this area and maybe putting some like forest pansy red buds or something like that, something along the edge to kind of be poking out the middle of the grass, or maybe even putting some wood tours sticking out the middle of the grass. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Anyway, so I am very patiently waiting for the rest of this grass to grow, but I'm really happy with the progress thus far. Then I want to show you one more El Nino Catalpa. So I have 3 Catalpas in my center island. I just think it's beautiful. And this is another one. I planted it at the same time as the one in the front, and you can see it's blooming. It's about 3 feet tall. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, this is going to get about 10 feet tall, and I just think it's the perfect spot for it. Then right in front of that, you can see I have Diamond Frost Euphorbia that's doing so well. I'm really happy to see how well it's doing, because I've always been kind of iffy about that plant, but I think I just have to put it in the right spot. It's kind of the same thing as the Augusta Lavender Heliotrope. I think it's a landscape plant for me, and I think it looks really good right now, especially right next to the Supertunia Royal Velvet. And then you can see up on the gazebo, I have the Mandevilla, and this Mandevilla I saw at the garden center and I was absolutely obsessed, and I think you can see why, because of these beautiful pink blooms. This is only rated down to a zone 10, so I think I might protect it a little bit over the winter. Hopefully it'll come back, but if it doesn't, that's okay. I can at least enjoy it for what it is now. The only thing I will say though is that the painters are coming, and they said that I have to take all the plants off of the deck, so that I actually have to cut. It's hooked on with just a piece of twine right here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the twine and I'm going to lay it over that way, and then as soon as they're done, I'll somehow hook it back up so it can continue growing up the gazebo, because I just think it's so pretty. So we'll see how it does. I'm going to have to cut this Super Venus Stormburst back, and I'm going to have to cut the Supertunia right here, just so that they can have plenty of access to the gazebo. All right, then let me show off my zigzag planter that has been looking so good this year. Oh my gosh, so good this year. So the big thing for the zigzag planter is the Supertunia Tiara Pink. This is a new variety of Supertunia for proven winners. It's the Tiara series, and you'll notice that it has a white throat that fades out into the color, or I should say opposite, the color that fades into a white throat. But it just looks like it's glowing. It is the prettiest Supertunia, and the Tiara Pink is very vigorous. So just take a look. It is incredibly vigorous, and it is incredibly beautiful. And I did plant some sweet potato vine in it. I'm pretty sure this is I can't remember, the light green one. I'm pretty sure it's the light green one. And at first, the Tiara Pink was taking over, and it wasn't letting the sweet potato vine grow. It was smothering it. But then I think with the heat, finally the sweet potato vine is catching up, which I'm pretty happy about. I think it gives it a nice foliage break, like a green break to it. In these pots, I have my heliotrope. These are the Fragrant Delight varieties, and people who live around here always comment on this heliotrope being here, because this is full hot sun, and the heliotrope is doing absolutely perfect here. So I would say the only thing about heliotrope, if you're going to grow it in a hot climate, make sure it gets consistent water. That's the most important thing. If it dries out, it's, you know, it's basically the kiss of death. It needs to have consistent water and it should stay blooming like this. I have cut this back once, deadheaded it once, and then it flushed back out, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. And I love the smell of heliotrope. And then finally, I have my grasses here. These are called totem pole panicum. And the cool thing about these grasses is they're supposed to get 6 feet tall. They're not quite 6 feet tall yet, so I'm going to keep watching and see if they keep growing. They might just be getting smothered a little too much, right? And that might be stunting their growth a little bit. But even with them looking like the way they are now, I think that they're really, really pretty. Last year, I had purple fountain grass in the zigzag planter, and it was gorgeous. And so I wanted to try a different grass, and this is just as beautiful. And then right behind that, I have my hanging baskets. These are the Vista View combination. It's a combination of Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, and Supertunia Vista Snowdrift. And then I have white Gara on top that has just been the absolute showstopper of the year. The Gara has been incredible. I have pink Gara in the zigzag planter as well, and it's getting, of course, smothered by the Supertunias, but it was a really, really gorgeous show about a month or two ago, and now the Supertunias are kind of taking over. But you can see up there, that Gara is just looking beautiful. I mean, look at this heliotrope right here. Look at how good that looks. And we've been getting to triple digits. And like I said, this is full sun, and it is just handling it like it's no problem. And I really think it's because I have a inline emitter tubing. I have a circle of inline emitter tubing in these pots, and it gets watered every single day, and it just is totally, totally happy. I love it. Okay, then coming over here, you can see my Star Jasmine Espalier is done. I actually fertilized it about a month ago, and it's been growing like crazy. So I got to come in and I got to train it a little bit. I don't want to trim too much of it because Star Jasmine grows on old wood, and I want to make sure I have plenty of blooms next season. But it is just looking so good. Like, for instance, when I fertilized it, this was the only area right here that wasn't completely covered. And so you can see the new growth. Look at that new growth. And so the whole thing is completely covered right now. And I just planted this September of last year. And so was it September or the year before? Basically, it's been almost exactly 2 years that this espalier has grown, and it just is so beautiful. I love it. Right in front of it, I planted some Platinum Beauty Lamandra that I think is the perfect addition because it's a different texture to as compared to the Star Jasmine. I do need to pick up a couple more of these. I think 2 more, one for here and one for here to kind of fill out this whole garden bed right here. But I'm really happy with it. These are still babies. They're going to get about 3 feet tall and wide. I do have my hose out, which I normally don't, but I have some plants here that I still need to plant. I have these lavender that my friend Greg gave me. They are called Merlot, and he raves about these. He says that they're so amazing. Actually, I think my mom has this in her garden, and it's really beautiful as well. It is a variegated lavender, which is so interesting. And then I have some more white vinca. I'll show you the other white vinca that I planted, and then some more lemon coral sedum. And I'm actually saving this for the planting up by my dry creek bed for the gardener's idea book, just in case we want to fill in a little bit. That's why I'm saving this palette of lemon coral sedum. Okay, and then coming this way, this is my orchard garden. Don't look too close because I do still have some deadheading that I have to do around here, which is, you know, it's just par for the course, especially in July. It's definitely deadheading time, but it's looking really, really good. I've been so happy with it. My ballet slippers, Somerset hibiscus, is going crazy right now. It's still morning, so not everything is opened up yet. But the newest installation is, or one of the newest installations, is my lavender river. I actually cut back my lavender river, but I planted all of this white vinca around the lavender river to fill in and kind of be the supporting act for the the lavender, and I'm really excited about it. I think this was a good choice. This vinca is going to grow really big. Vinca is kind of borderline for us here in zone 9B, but I have a feeling it should overwinter. I actually planted this in my last garden and it overwintered in my last garden. So barring a really cold winter, I should have this again next year, which I think will be absolutely beautiful. And then, like I said, I just cut back the lavender and I'm hoping for it to push out a new flush of blooms, and it already is pushing out some new buds, which I think will be really fun. So just imagine this whole area with the white vinca completely filled in and then the lavender in full bloom, and I just think it's going to be absolutely perfect. Coming this way, yesterday, well, I should say, a week or two ago, I had arborists come and trim a bunch of my trees, and I'm so happy I did that because they trimmed my orange trees that were very full and they were almost down to the ground, which is why this whole area is blank right here. And they came in, I knew that they needed to be trimmed up and I knew that they needed to be lifted, but I was so nervous about it. And so I had the arborists, the professionals come and do it. And I'm so glad I did, because when I was watching them work, I was like very nervous about it. But after they were done, it was like, oh, okay, I can see what a professional does. And they did such a good job. And now I have so much more room underneath my orange trees to plant. I'm not going to plant a ton under there because I still want to be able to access the oranges, but they look so much better now, so much better now. So I've planted a little bit. I planted some firefly fuchsia yarrow. Here's one that's already full grown right there, looking really pretty. And then I did plant some midnight masquerade penstemon right here. And I'm really excited about that because this is a little bit of dark foliage that's going to counteract all the light foliage that I have here in my purple and orange garden bed. This was actually the first garden that I planted when we moved into the house because I just knew I wanted this color combination. I knew I wanted it. So I have chiclet orange Tacoma behind there, which is kind of like, it looks very similar to an orange trumpet vine, but that's pretty much full height that it's going to get. They get about 6 feet tall and 4 feet wide. And I just think they're the most beautiful plant, especially this time of year when things kind of look a little stressed out with the heat. This plant can handle the heat and I just love it. It's so beautiful. And then combining that with denim and lace Russian sage, and then orange blaze Nifofia, and right in front I have cat's pajamas Nepeta. I just love this combination. But as you can see, it's a lot of light foliage. I needed some dark foliage. So as that penstemon grows up, I think that will be really pretty. And then I might put some more dark foliage kind of in this area. This is Helen von Stein Lamsier, which is one of my absolute favorite plants. And I just crack up whenever I see this because this is 3 plants. And when I was planting here, when I was planting these, I actually had bought 7 to go in this spot. 7. And as I was planting, I took away 4 of them. And thank goodness I took away 4 of them, because even just the 3, this is a lot. So just let this be a lesson to all of you that Helen von Stein Lamsier gets really, really big when you put it in a really happy spot, like a spot that it likes. And this is definitely a spot that it likes. And then looking off to the left here, I have my Royal Raspberry Agastaki. It looks gorgeous. I love that plant. It's not a, how do I say this? It's not a very dependable plant for me in my garden, but when it's growing, it's absolutely beautiful. The reason why I say it's not a very dependable plant is I've had a couple of these not make it through the winter time, and I don't think it's winter cold. I think it's the wet winters that we have. I think it's too much moisture for these. I think they need to be super, super dry even during the winter time. I don't know. I'm still playing with it. This is a relatively new plant to me, but I am having a hard time. These I had just planted. Did I plant them in either fall or early spring? And so these haven't really made it through like a whole season yet. So I just wanted to say that. Behind there, that giant plant is actually a cardoon. It looks like an artichoke, but it's not. And I let them all go to seed and bloom, and they're just looking gorgeous. And you can cut those and dry those blooms, and they make really, really good dried plants, but I just love them on the plant, and I've just left them, and I just think they're gorgeous, and I want to plant more of those next year, especially in the center island. This is my plain blue salvia, and you can see what it looks like when you don't deadhead it. I haven't deadheaded this at all. I've just let it grow. It's probably about 5 feet tall. It's absolutely crazy. And I think that the stats for this is it only gets up to 4 feet tall, but it is, I mean, it is definitely tall. Again, when it's in a happy spot, a spot that it likes, it goes crazy. And then, of course, I have a volunteer sunflower that I just think is beautiful. Coming over here, when I planted the Platinum Beauty Lamandra right in front of my espalier, I had some black mondo grass there, and I decided to move it. And you can see what it looks like. This is where I moved it. It looks okay. It's kind of scorching just a little bit. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to see if it will kind of like grow in and root in and settle in. But you can see it's not, I don't know, black mondo grass is kind of tough for us because it definitely scorches a little bit in the heat. And this is actually a really protected area. So to see it scorch is definitely disappointing, but I'm going to give it some time and see how it goes. My fig tree is weighted down. Like there's figs all over it. They are about to go crazy. I'm going to make fig preserves, and I'm going to freeze figs, and we're going to eat figs every single day for a month or something like it. But it's just so funny how much it gets weighted down when there's so much fruit on it. It's just great. I did have an arborist come and prune this, I think fall is when I had them come and prune it. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this tree has been pruned. It was cut way back, and it's still just looking absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait for harvest. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Gosh, I'm going to have people come help me harvest this because this is going to be absolutely crazy. Very exciting. One thing that is very sad. Look at my lime. This is my lime tree. So when the arborist came, I had them look at this, and they cut off some dead wood, cut off some old wood. And this lime tree, what the arborist said is, so there are cracks in it, and basically water got in when it was raining, and then it got too cold, and the frost happened, and then the heat happened. And so basically it was the combination between frost and heat, and it just stressed this lime tree out. And he said that it was kind of coming already. And so I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to see if it flushes back out, but I think it's pretty much dead. Don't you guys? It's so sad. Such a bummer. And that's okay. I'll just pull it out, and I'm going to plant another lime tree in its place. But it's so sad when you lose such a mature plant like this. Very disappointing. Anyway, let me take you this way. I definitely wanted to point out my Niagara Falls panicum grasses. They are... I just love these grasses. I just love them so much. First of all, they're a beautiful silvery blue color, really, really gorgeous, kind of cools down the hot summer landscape. But the most amazing thing about this grass are the seed pods, the seed heads, seed pods, whatever you say. They are absolutely incredible. And they're not even all out yet, but around this time of year, the seed heads start coming out, and they have this gorgeous texture to them, it's like soft basically. And the cool thing about them is that this texture will stay all winter long. They'll kind of brown out a little bit. They'll look like a wheat color, but the texture with the seed heads will stay all winter, and it'll give your garden such beautiful winter interest. And it's probably my favorite grass. I love purple fountain grass with those seed pods on it and seed heads on it, but these actually stay a little bit nicer during the winter time. And so this is just, to me, this is an all season plant, of course, except when you have to cut it back in January or February. But I just love it. I just cannot get over it. And then here, I wanted to show you guys my 7 sunflower tree. It is about ready to go crazy. So this one I planted, this is probably a year and a half old. And so it's probably, it still has some growing to do, but I wanted to show off the blooms. It's about to absolutely go crazy and burst into bloom. And I'm really, really excited. It bloomed a teeny bit last year, but not a ton. And there's just so many buds on here. I'm really excited to see it. Okay, and then last but not least, I have to show off my long border, which is this garden bed over here on this side of the driveway. To me, this is looking so good this year, you guys. I am so happy with how it's looking. There's still some work that needs to be done, like this whole area is not looking as good, but from here down, it looks really great. I have to show off this buddleia. Gosh, I cannot remember the name right now. Is there a tag? I don't see a tag back there. I'll put it on the screen, but this is beautiful. This was bred by Hans Hansen that does a lot of perennials for Proven Winners as well. He does the mangave. He's done a lot of the summerific hibiscus. And this buddleia, I mean, look at this. Look at this bloom head. I mean, isn't that absolutely crazy? And it's just beautiful. So this one I actually got at Annie's Annuals before they went out of business, but now they're Curious Flora. And I'm pretty sure Curious Flora has that one as well. That was in their display garden and I had to get it. And it's you know, it still has a lot more growing to do. So it's going to get a lot bigger, but I'm just really excited to see that. And then coming over this way, I have some really beautiful plants. Another crepe myrtle. This is pink velour crepe myrtle, so it's a different variety than the ones in my center island, but I still think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then just coming over here, everything is looking so good. In this area, I planted some summer break alstroemeria. That's looking really beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm just so happy when things kind of work out and things look good. My dahlias are coming along. That's what these stakes are. And then coming over here, everything is just, I'm so happy with it. So what I did in this area is zero rhyme or reason to it. Absolutely zero rhyme or reason. I just took a whole bunch of plants. If there was a spot, I put a plant in it and I just kind of filled it in. And I'm so happy that I did that because it's just giving life to the area and I didn't put too much thought into it. And I think that that's the type of gardening that I like the most, when you don't really think about it too much. Like, why would you put Super Tunia Bubblegum Pink right there, right next to this Tangiglow Lantana, right? But I think it's fun. I mean, I know it doesn't totally go, but it just shows the different beautiful blooms and the beautiful colors that you can have in the garden. And I just really love it. Okay, everyone. So that is it for my July front garden tour. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I say this every single garden tour, but I just want to remind you all and encourage you all to get your phones out and go take video of your garden. You are going to be so happy that you have a record of it. And don't worry if it doesn't look 100%. I have plenty of flowers that need to be deadheaded and weeds and all that kind of stuff, but I'm always so happy that I took a video, took pictures of my garden so that I can go and look back in a month, in 6 months, in a year, just to see the progress that I've made. I also wanted to announce to all of you that I am doing another Show Me Your Gardens series. Show Me Your Gardens is a series that I've done for the past 2 years on my channel, where I've asked all of you to submit videos of your gardens, and then I've posted them based on zones so we all can watch and we all can get inspiration from all of your gardens. So I would love for you to get your cameras, go film your gardens, and I will put a Google Forms link in the description of this video where you can go and you can submit your videos, and then I'll put them in a little compilation video to show all of you. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the Show Me Your Garden series, probably at the end of August, maybe even September, but just kind of start thinking about it and I'll make sure to remind all of you. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all are having a lovely summer, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.